Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to History University. I am Tom and I will be your educator for this video. History is filled with fascinating people who have shaped the world, and because of this, humans are center stage when we talk about contributions to history. Too often we focus on humanity's role and neglect the animals who have tagged along for the ride. So today I want to introduce you to Incitatus, the horse who almost became senator. Incitatus was the famous horse of the Roman Emperor Caligula. His name means swift or full gallop in Latin. The Roman statesman Cassius Dio indicated that Caligula made the horse a priest, and the horse was attended by servants and was fed oats mixed with golden flakes. Suetonius' account on Incitatus is where we get the claim that Caligula made the horse a senator. In Suetonius' biographical work on the Caesars called The 12 Caesars, he states, "And it is also said that he planned to make him consul." In the Roman Empire, consuls were the chairmen of the Senate. They served as board of advisors, they also commanded the Roman army, and exercised the highest judicial powers in the Roman Empire. Incitatus would not have been a senator, he would have been a consul, which is more akin to a president or a prime minister than any type of senator. Now, it is only mentioned in Suetonius' account that Caligula planned to make him a consul. Unfortunately, Caligula was assassinated before he had a chance to do so. It also needs to be mentioned that Suetonius wrote Caligula's biography 80 years after Caligula was killed, so we should be skeptical of the veracity of the story. Historians have come up with 3 theories as to why Caligula would make his horse a consul. In the first theory, the claim is that Caligula was going insane. It also claims that he had immense love for this horse. He was so obsessed with it that he previously made it priest, he fed it golden flakes, so for this reason he felt like he needed to honor the stallion in some way or another. In order to give proper gratitude to his horse, he was going to give him a political position. So this theory is basically saying that Caligula was going insane, but he really loved his horse, and he wanted to show some form of appreciation for the horse, so he did so by giving him a very powerful role in government. The second theory also holds he was going insane by the end of his reign, but this time it is not out of affection for the horse, but anger towards the Senate. He became so frustrated with the Senate that he tried to make his horse the leader of the Senate just to mock all of the senators. By appointing a horse to Senate, it would show all the senators how pointless their jobs really were, and that even a horse could do it. Caligula wanted to prove that his senators were absolutely meaningless, and that his horse could do a better job than all of them. The third theory claims that it was more of a logical decision. Incitatus would have been used for entertainment purposes and to serve in the Senate, but hold no real powers. During events with important officials, Incitatus would be an attraction. He would be this impressive horse that all these people could admire and look at its beauty. It would also slightly function as a joke, as people would be fascinated with this idea that this horse was of the same level as men. Technically speaking, the horse would have no power. It would just be there to marvel at and just be impressed at this wild decision that Caligula decided to go with. Now, personally, I don't think that Caligula would have to make him consul in order to do this. He could have just kept the horse around. For entertainment purposes, he didn't need to hold any figurative title, but when you're emperor, you could really do whatever you want. The story of Incitatus has been passed down for hundreds of years, and has turned into somewhat of a mythology, which is probably why so many sources pin him as an actual senator, because of the tales that have lived on. In Anton Chekhov's novel, The Cherry Orchard, one of the characters claims that he is descended from the very nag Caligula introduced to Senate. In I, Claudius by Robert Graves, he wrote that Incitatus was made a senator and was put on the list to become a consul, and that eventually Claudius removed the governmental stipend for Incitatus and his status as senator because of lacking monetary funds at the time. In Ayn Rand's novel, Atlas Shrugged, a mention of Incitatus is overheard by Cheryl, the newlywed wife of James Taggart. In the 2006 to 2011 comic Jack of Fables, Incitatus talks so much that he risks giving away his status as a fable and frequently mentions his former status as a Roman senator. So it appears that Incitatus' literary legacy is that he was an actual senator, while his historical legacy is that he was just the emperor's favorite horse, and that perhaps Caligula had a plan or two to introduce him to some form of role in the government. It really doesn't seem like Incitatus was ever going to be senator, despite what some clickbait articles and misrepresentation in literature want you to believe. But nonetheless, the story of Incitatus is very interesting, and I feel like he's a cool animal to know, which is why I wanted to share with you the story of him becoming senator. But conclusively, I don't really think that these stories of him becoming senator are that true, but it is interesting how history gets retold over time. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. Like and subscribe if you can, and have a good day. Thank you.